Pam loves to empower women to really find their voice. Pam, welcome to our week 2 of 4.
I know. I'm so happy to be here, Teresa.
Thank you. I think last week was really helpful. I think that there's things that we need to talk about and be honest and transparent about. And I think that when we're trying to empower, and by the way, our heart is women in many ways, but also it doesn't mean that men cannot get something out of this, of course, right? Because
Exactly.
wisdom comes from the Lord. So we can definitely apply that to anybody who's willing to take it. But for those who are going to watch, and we just want to make a quick introduction about Pam. Pam, just briefly give our viewers a little rundown of who you are and what you do, and why people really need to know about working with Pam Drzewiecki.
Yay. Well, thanks, Teresa. My name is Pam Drzewiecki. I'm the owner and founder of Powerful Purpose. It's a business and life coaching practice. I have an amazing community called the Purpose Den. And the reason why I started this business almost 8 years ago now, and I was able to help hundreds of women. And like Teresa said, not only women, but men as well. And actually, I just got a brand new client, and it's a couple that I'm working
Fun.
with.
That's fun.
How, yeah, I'm very excited about that. And coming from the insurance industry and a lot of different happenings throughout my life, I decided that I wanted to give back. And that's why I started my practice. And I'm thrilled to be here. And I get to keep on meeting amazing people like you, Teresa.
Thanks.
And we're here to deliver.
Yes, we are. That's exciting. I'm thankful. I can tell you this for yourself. I think you can confirm this. I can confirm this personally. And for those who are viewing and are going to watch later, I've I've never worked with a coach that something didn't help me, that it didn't help me with something. And I've worked with two different coaches before, and I just find that they're very, very helpful. Some way or another, in some form or fashion, or one way or another, it was very, very helpful to move forward. It changed my mindset about some things. And so that's a good reason to work with somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and get us kicked off and
Sure.
started here, Pam. So I want to ask you a question. So let's see if you can address this for our viewers who really are ready to make a difference in their own life. Self-doubt can be such a huge obstacle for many women, as you know.
Mhm.
How do you guide your clients through identifying and overcoming limiting beliefs? Because those are two different things. First, you identify, and then you teach them to overcome it. How do you do that?
Okay, so identifying is a little tricky because a lot of times our limited beliefs have been with us for a very long time.
Mm, mhm,
And they're part of our fabric of our lives and how we're showing up. And even though we may be confident, it doesn't mean that we feel worthy of that confidence. So I really believe that by identifying what is holding you back, you really need to take a step back and do some work in speaking with a professional
mhm,
that specializes in that and helps them. But if you're not in that position, say, to do that, and you want to get started yourself,
mhm,
um, I would sit and do an exercise like sitting and just writing down things that you would love to do,
mhm,
and then what is holding you back from doing
mhm. I
that.
like
That
that.
starts identifying
Mm.
those areas.
I like that. That's really fun. I mean, I think anything self-exploration is fun when you sit down and you start thinking about you and what has you. I really, really like that. And as women of faith, and of course this, we're definitely going to speak to the faith community, but anybody can gather something from this, whether you're a faith person or
Absolutely.
not. But one of the things I will say is that when you have faith, like for us, we're Christian women, et cetera, you can actually really invite the Lord into that process as well and say, you know what, God, I really want to know, what are those things that keep me, what are those obstacles that I don't see that are there? Can you help
Mhm.
me see them and download those to me so that we can move on? I love that, Pam. I love what you're saying. I think anybody who's watching right now, I want to encourage you. I do want to say something because you said if you can't afford to do it, can I tell you, Pam, that I really believe that it's all about priorities. I think a lot of people believe they
Mm.
can't afford something, but can I tell you, there are people who will choose between their nails. If we're talking to women, right, this
Yep,
moment, right, we'll choose between our nails or our hair, between that expensive makeup and that one outfit. Listen, for me, I can tell you 100% that it's all about what do you value and what are you willing to invest in. So every person,
I
you
love
think you
that.
can't afford that, you can't afford a coaching session, you absolutely can. It's all about your priorities. So I want to kind of take that monster down in case in case people are saying, I can't. No, no, wait, yeah, we can. It's all about what you value.
Yeah, I love that, and we won't I mean, yes, it's and isn't that interesting how that comes up a little bit? So, is that part of something that I may hold on to that needs work around it? And the thing is the reason why I left a 28-year career at age 50 to
Mhm.
start my own business was because I worked with a coach, and she helped me see that life would be different. So you're absolutely right on that. I mean, we could buy a coffee, a fancy coffee every day,
Yes.
and by the end of the month, spend a couple $100 on that.
Yeah.
So I love
Yes.
that. I love that priorities,
100%. I think
priorities.
it's a season of prioritization. I mean, I go back,
Yes.
I spent quite a bit of money actually last year with a coach who was phenomenal, and I still reference our notes and what she said, and a lot of it is timing of what she said was applicable to a certain time in my life, et cetera, et cetera. So
Mhm.
I love that. Okay, Pam, I want to know this. Can you share a common limiting belief that you see among women, and how do you help them overcome it?
I think a common one is I'm not enough.
Mhm.
Because of lack of education or education, but in the wrong field or by upbringing. There's a lot of that goes on
Mhm.
because of that. So I think
Mhm.
I truly, from working with women from vice presidents to moms, like we talked last week, we all have different callings, right?
Yes.
Every single one, it came down to, am I enough? Your confidence, but your self-worth
Mhm. I love
is
that.
is what bubbles up for a lot of women that I talk with.
Oh, yeah, and it comes up so naturally, almost like it's a normal, natural thing. Can we just clear the air and say, it is not normal and natural for us to be that to have such low self-esteem. Now, I don't say that in a condemning way. I say that in a way of saying it doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to you. So let's cut it out and
Mhm.
work our way through that. Also, I'm going to give an example on politics because obviously Teresa Lusk show has some
Yeah.
political ties. Can I tell you that right now, the number of women in politics is rising, especially among liberal women. So it leads me to
Mm.
go, okay, why aren't the conservative women running more? I'm a conservative, and I like to empower women. Period. But the issue is this, because there's a lot of women who will go, I don't think I have what it takes. So it applies to so many different structures and platforms.
Mhm.
We've got to get to that, Pam, and deal with that.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think it's so important to move forward in our definition of success that's really ingrained in us and kind of break those ties sometimes from what our minds are holding us back from becoming.
That's right. That's
And I
right.
think the discernment is a huge part of it.
Mhm. Yes,
Mhm.
understanding 100%. What does building self-confidence look like in your coaching process, and how can someone shift from self-doubt to self-belief? So explain to us, what does it look like as we're doing it? Do you really notice the difference? Do you start taking different steps? What happens through that process?
Yeah, while we're working together, even after our first time together, you'll start feeling a little different. And sometimes it starts feeling uncomfortable because it's something
Mhm.
new. And not only uncomfortable for you, but maybe the people around you will start feeling a little uncomfortable because
Mhm.
now all of a sudden you're finding your voice
Mhm.
and you're feeling a little bit more confident and but confident in a self-worthy. I keep on going back to that self-worth. And we work around, exercises that you're going to do throughout the day.
Mhm.
We talk about, your gratitude, but getting even deeper into that. Last week we were talking about the core values. Like, the biggest thing around the limiting beliefs is understanding what your core values are
It's
and really living in those core values.
Mhm. I really like that you said we're gonna do some exercises because I feel like, um, a lot of times, you can give people information, and when you get into a coaching session, you're not just gonna get the cheerleader pom-poms out and be like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do." It actually, invites you into a journey of
Mhm,
activity, and it invites you into a journey of a little, um, you've gotta have some effort. But the effort always pays off in a coaching session.
it
And
really
we always
does.
have to remember that because it's not like anything else that you do. The one thing about coaching that you'll know for sure is there's always going to be a payoff as long as you are cooperating and doing your work, which is not really work. It's one of the most transformational processes you'll
Mhm.
ever engage in.
It's so true. Is like it in order to feel a little bit of that hard uncomfortableness
Mhm.
is when the growth starts happening.
Yeah,
And in a coaching session, sometimes it is a great rah-rah session. And then other times you're going to feel that little uncomfortableness. But
mhm.
that's where you want to be because the next step is when you're going to thrive.
That's right. Coaching has so many benefits, guys, and as you're watching and as you're going to watch, we have business and life coach Pam Drzewiecki with powerful-purpose.com. Don't forget to go visit that website. But Pam has worked with individuals to really help them hone down on their purpose and really get them excited about what has God placed on the inside of you and how can I maximize that. Maximizing it is not always financial. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
just the reward of loving yourself, of believing in yourself, because the financial will be a natural fruit of what you believe about yourself. There's some of you who are watching right now and you're just sitting back waiting for some miracle. The miracle may be in you're investing in yourself, as we said, Pam.
Mhm.
That a lot of times we just have the wrong priorities, but this is an investment in it's a lifelong reward, I think.
It
In
is.
Yeah. So is there
Yes.
anything else that you wanna engage us in a conversation regarding the self-doubt? Anything else that our viewers need to know?
I just really encourage our viewers to say that I am enough and
Mhm.
spend some time around that statement and what does that mean to you? And then from there, reaching out, I'd be more than happy to help you un what's that? Like oh my goodness, my brain is a little
Unlearn some things? Are we gonna
yeah, like, just start
Yeah,
unpacking what that feels like to you.
yeah.
But first you have to say yes to yourself. You have to
Mhm.
say yes to yourself and find your priorities and, identify what they truly are.
That's right. And Christmas is coming, so everybody's looking for items
Mm,
to buy. Can I tell you, I would rather somebody invest in me in something that's going to have a lifelong reward
yeah,
versus just this one thing that will wear out. Because if you can get me to believe that I have purpose and to deal with the bondages of my mind that
mhm,
say, I don't believe in myself, guess what? You can't put money on that. That's
no,
not a temporary gift. It's something that's lifelong.
it
So
is.
I love the perspective that needs to we really need to kind of emphasize that and think about that.
I love that. I mean, and thank you for bringing that up. I wrote a book called 28 Days to Self-Discovery, and it's
Mhm,
a journal-based book. And every day you have a question and you journal around it. And it opens up your thoughts and it takes you through a journey of four different areas.
mhm,
And then there's a place to go back a year later to look at it. And I love the reflection part of it, but it has been such a great gift that people have purchased that along with some of my individual time to help
mhm,
them through that as a gift for Christmas, for a birthday, or even a celebration that they've gotten a promotion. Helps
mhm.
them understand themselves better. So I love that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, you're welcome. Why? Because I think it's worth it. I think right now, as people are thinking about, even with our crazy economy, some people are still going to spend money. They're still going to
Mhm.
buy something. This could be even something men. I mean, if your wife or
Yeah,
special someone in your life doesn't seem to really believe in herself, and you're like, you know what, I want to bless her with a session. Like you can do that. Both Pam and I are available for sessions for, we both can cover a lot of the same topics, and it's just a matter of, we know we're both here to empower people. So there's no like, oh, you need to work with me instead of her. We're just like,
right.
hey, here we both are. You choose what's going to be best for your special person or for you, and that's how we're going to do that.
I love that. And that's such a great segue into the part that you're going to be doing, right? Today for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah.
so what do you think? Should we go on? Okay, so I am here for any questions. I really love helping people thrive instead of
Hmm.
just survive in their lives. We are meant to thrive and to be grounded and hopefully you're, grounded in your faith and have true purpose here. So you're ready, right,
That's right.
for the next step.
That's
But
right.
the what you're going to share with us today, I think is so important, especially for business owners that are showing up at networking events or online or any place you're introducing yourself at a cocktail party or wherever it is. And I find it really fascinating because a lot of times you could be amongst a lot of people in a room, 40 people in a room, and you have to introduce
Mhm.
yourself. So, how do you be able to stand out a little bit
Mhm.
from other people so they remember you? And so we call it our elevator pitch, right? Like
Mhm.
our 30
Mhm.
or 40-second
Yeah.
elevator pitch. And that's because you're stuck in an elevator with somebody for that amount of time.
Yeah.
How are you going to introduce yourself, right?
Right.
So, what is the way that you help people with their elevator pitch?
Absolutely. So an elevator pitch, like you said, it helps you. It really tells somebody about your business, what you're doing within like 30 to 40 seconds. And for those of us who have a business, a ministry, those who are of us who are running for office or, something
Mm,
else, it's so important to really know about your pitch. Like who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it? And when you can really hone it down, it really helps people remember who you are. If you know what your elevator pitch is, you know what you're talking about, and you know what you're offering. People aren't going to trust you if you can't even say who you are, what your business is,
mhm,
what your ministry is, what your main policies are if you're running a campaign. And so we really want to talk about, the elevator pitch. It's something that really leaves people with a clear piece of information of who you are.
mhm. And do you find when you're helping people develop elevator pitches because they have to talk about themselves,
Mhm.
that sometimes it's hard for them to develop the pitch?
Yes.
So how do you do that with somebody who is comfortable talking about themselves, but also may have a shyness about talking about themselves?
Sure. Shyness, I think, happens with everybody. I went to a networking event this morning, and there was a woman sitting at my table, and we were introducing ourselves. And as soon as I told her what I did, she starts laughing. She goes, "I am terrible about being on video and whatever." And the thing is this, like, one of the questions that I really want to encourage people to ask themselves is, do you really believe in what you're doing? That's just a
Mm,
real question. Like, I'm not even coaching you I'm just asking you, do you actually believe in what you're doing? If you really believe in what you're doing, which, believe it or not, as public as I am, et cetera, I still get nervous sometimes. I
sure.
really do. And the question that I combat my nervousness with so that I can bring that pitch, and I'll give you an example of it in just a second, is, do you believe in what you're doing? And I'll ask myself that, do I believe in what I'm doing? Do I believe that I have the anointing of God to really teach people, to train them, to get them on video comfortably, to write out their life story? The answer is yes. I know without a doubt this is
Mm,
my call. I know without a doubt this is part of my call. I have a very dynamic background, but I know that this is part of my call. And as I begin to deal with those fears, they begin to silence, because the truth
mm,
is, you have to beat the lie with the truth. And the truth is, I really was called to do this. So my elevator pitch, just to give you
mm.
a quick background, I'll say, I'm Teresa Lusk, host of the Teresa Lusk Show, a conservative political talk show. I've been on Fox Radio, Newsmax, and other outlets. And my job is to pull that very unique story out of you onto paper and onto camera very carefully and very effectively. Also, if you need help writing that book, and I am a pastor, so if you need a faith-based perspective, I'm here to help you. Like, it's that fast. I already told you I do media. I'll help you write it. I'll help you on video. And I'm a pastor, so that nobody goes, "Who is this woman?" That is all of me, right? And
Yeah.
so, but it's all about, tell them who you are. How do you do it? And how it helps people. I just said, I'm going to pull that very unique story out of you, and we're going to get it out of your mouth onto paper and onto camera. Boom.
Mm.
And I told them today, I said, "And you're gonna like yourself on camera." And they thought it was funny. But, most people are like, "I don't like myself." Like, next week, we're gonna talk about lighting and sound, etc. So, yes. So that's one of the things I do there, Pam.
I love that. And I found for myself when I'm in a room, because a lot of times there'll be a lot of other coaches in the room, and trying to stand out from the
Mhm.
other coaches is I end up telling a story. And,
Mhm.
I'd be like, "Hey, did you know that I drove to work one day without my skirt on?"
Yeah. Oh,
Exactly.
that'll get people's attention.
Right? And it grabs their attention, and they're like, "Really?" And I say, "Yes, I was driving to work because my life was chaotic."
Mhm.
And that is when I started on my journey towards changing what I needed to change.
That's
And
good.
that happened when I worked with a coach. So that's what I do. I help
That's good.
women thrive. So that is the way that I end up grabbing attention, um, other people's attention. And then it's like, well, did you drive to work? Did you go back and put a skirt on? Kind of thing.
That's funny.
So, yeah. So I love that. So also, what do you find that when you're doing your elevator pitch and you still want to grab their attention, like, how have you done that for helping people through developing their pitch? Like, what are the questions, that you asked? You have one that you helped a client with so they could hear a different part.
Yeah, so basically I would ask people, okay, what do you do? What do you do? I mean, so I'll give you an example. Here's a pitch that I got down for you guys. I'm Alex with FlexiFit Online Training. We bring customized fitness programs to people who want real results but need flexibility in their schedules. With live video sessions, goal tracking, 24/7 support, we make it easy to prioritize your health without compromising your time. Period.
It's
He told
beautiful.
you, yeah, he told you who he is. He told you what he does. He brings customized programs. He told you that he does it with flexibility. So he's telling you how he's going to do it. And then you're like, hey, who doesn't need online workout sessions? You know what I'm saying? So if you really start writing down, okay, who am I? What do I do? How do I do it? Who am I? What do I do? How do I do it? And most people want to know how it helps them. They don't care that you're fabulous. They
No.
don't care. I believe you're fabulous, but it doesn't matter. Right. So this morning I gave an example of how I've worked with two people running for office and a business owner this week, and I was able to hear their story, because I'm a person that will pull a story out of you, and I'll use your story. One example is I was dealing with a woman, and she does some kind of ministry stuff, and she was telling somebody else's story to try to gather support. And I said, honey, tell me your story. Like, that's great that this person suffered, and I'm sorry that she suffered, that she went through all this, but I want to know your story.
Mhm.
Does your story matter? Does your story count? Are you one who suffered what you're promoting now through somebody else? Yes, I do. Are you comfortable sharing that story? Yes, I am. I said, then the truth is that story needs to be told. No longer are you selling somebody else's story. You're
Love
selling your story. And it's not in a selfish way of talking about yourself. You're just saying, hey, I went through this, and this is why I'm now helping others just like you, because I went through it. I know what it's like. And here's how I'm going to help you.
Mm,
Boom, you just delivered out of your own story. She's not
mhm.
talking about how amazing she is. She's giving you an emotional connection, a true life connection on why
Excuse
she
me.
is qualified to help you and pull you in, and why she's qualified for you to support their ministry, their cause, etc. So the
Mm,
question I have is, what do you do? How do you do it? And put it in very succinct pieces. I'll be honest with you, a lot of people hate chat gpt, but I'll tell you, chat gpt is helpful. You don't want to plagiarize, so you can use it just to help you. I use the thesaurus is my best friend. I use it every single day because I'm a communicator, and I don't have all these words in my head all the time. So I actually use that a lot to help me come up with a new word, new phrase, and then I curtail it to make it my own, not somebody else's
mm.
voice. So
Oh, I
yeah,
love that.
yeah,
The
thank you.
Yeah, using the resources that we have available, right, is really part of creating, our story and helping it bring it to the next level.
That's right. That's right. And then, of course, because I'm a media person, guess what I'm going to tell you? Put it on video, you know, put it on video.
Exactly.
Put it on video over and over again. Record it on a recorder over and over again. Now, my favorite is always getting it on video. If you do it on video, you are going to do two things at one time. Number one, you're going to really have to work hard on your script. It's okay if you have to write it 15 times, but it's okay. And so it helps you prepare for the script, and then it helps you actually get comfortable with the video. I'm going to teach on lighting next week, but if you practice this, if those who are watching this week, if you're practicing this and you see it on video and you hate it, you're like, I hate it. Please put on some lighting onto your face. It will
Mm,
change your perspective. Lighting is everything. I have the saying, lighting is everything. So don't
I
throw it
can't
out just
wait.
yet. Yes. So that's really get that elevator pitch, and then get it on video and start getting comfortable with smile. People will really be passionate. I wish I could tell you, there's times when I'm out and about and people actually come up to me. They want to talk to me, not because I'm amazing, because what they believe that I can help them with something.
Mm. Oh, I love that. And I think that goes back to what I was sharing with the self-worth is the smiling and believing and showing up for that
Yeah,
for when they do their elevator pitch is really going to make all the difference
yeah,
by believing in yourself and what you do really, really matters.
100%, Pam. I really think that what you believe about yourself, it does reflect on how you say it. And some people have a little bit more monotone personalities. I will shake you up. If you're in my office, I will get you really excited that you'll have to get shaken up. I am not letting you walk out of here with a monotone voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When it comes to presenting, because I want to know, are you going to be excited about my project? if I ask you to work with me, are you going to be excited about working with me? I want to know that you're going to be a cheerleader for me. I want to know that there's people on my side. I run into a lot of things already. I don't need any more resistances. I need people who are going to make my life better. So how can I make
Mhm.
your life better as well through teaching you this coaching?
I love that. I love that. So I have one other quick question is, okay, so they're producing their elevator pitch
Mhm.
and they're using it in networking. They're using it when somebody asks, "What do you do for a living?" Right? Like having that information. And you're talking about video. Is it something that they could also use parts of in a social media bio or other ways that they could utilize working with you to do their pitch?
Gosh, that's such a good question. And the answer is yes. And that's the power of one session with me, is that once we get your elevator pitch down, we'll take the elevator pitch. I mean, if you think about this and you think about my elevator pitch, first I start off with, I'm the host of the Teresa Lusk show. One thing right there, I can just park right there. And if I was to go out and speak about my experience interviewing elected officials, doing news clips, going on major television networks to give commentary, I can already just on that portion create a whole speech out of it because my elevator pitch includes I am the host of the Teresa Lusk show. And then
Mm,
we talk about, I've been on Newsmax, Fox Radio, and other radio stations and other TV networks. I can talk to you about the TV networks. What's it like? How do you get on? What are
mm,
some things you should know? So every part of your elevator pitch has so many components to it. You can make posts out of it. I mean, if I start putting posts of all the things that I could teach you with coaching just on those two little sections, I have enough content for months. I choose
mm.
not to do it right now, but I
Right.
could if I really wanted to. So, and absolutely, Pam, you're gaining a whole lot with just this much. And that's what's so
Mm.
powerful about coaching so much. And can I explain the difference real quick as we're going to get close to here to wrapping up?
Yes.
Um, the difference between coaching and counseling, because I think some people may be wondering, okay, what's the difference? We're not going to start digging in your past. I'm actually a counselor as well. I'm a pastoral counselor. I could counsel. I've been doing counseling for years. But when we're coaching, we may find the root of some things, but we're really just giving you the power to create some solutions for right now, so that you can have
Mhm,
fast, accelerated growth and movement. So that's what we
mhm.
do around here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why part of the work that I do is a life strategist, right? Because we're just working on now and the impact that it's
That's
going to
right.
make. We're not I often say I love being a forward thinker.
Yeah.
And I think that's the work that we do is current and forward thinking and
Yes.
helping you during those stages. And that's why you have a therapist and a counselor if you want to go back or if
Right.
you need to go back, and that's
Right.
okay. But if you
Yes.
want to forward think, a
That's right.
coach.
That's right, that's right. So,
Mhm.
I'm a strong proponent of it, and I do like I said, I've done counseling for years, we can do that, but, this is a season of really putting your hand to the plow and seeing some things come forth when it comes to
Yeah.
business, ministry, etcetera, so let's work on that. Pam, we always have such a great time
I
talking
know.
here, and your website is powerful-purpose.com. You're taking new clients right now, you just
Yeah.
got a couple, a husband and wife or boyfriend,
Mhm.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
that are working together for coach. How exciting. That might be pretty fun, I think.
I
Yeah.
think so. It came as a referral, which is a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
and, yes, so I was like, "Sure, let's talk. Let's talk and
Perfect.
see," and it works out really well. So, I am open to taking, new clients individually and inside the community, and continuously looking for speaking engagements as well.
That's
So,
wonderful. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there you go. So you can find Pam's information at at powerful-purpose.com. And I'm Teresa Lusk. You can go to my website, teresaluskshow.com. I am also available for coaching sessions. I can help you write that book. We can help with your media. We can get you comfortably on video. We can get your speech written and just public presence in general. And we can deal with
Mm.
some of your personal issues, but this is the season of just plowing and seeing the reward for your work. And so also available for speaking events. I am a pastor, so I can go from faith-based to political stuff. And we have so much fun doing what we do. So don't
Yeah.
forget to follow us on social media if you're not already following us, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Pam, it's been a great pleasure. And next week we have an exciting week 3 of 4. And I'm going to talk about lighting and sound. And Pam,
Mhm.
what will you be discussing next week? Do you have that?
Next week is all about cultivating balance and boundaries.
Ooh, that's very important. So I
Yes.
can't wait to see our friends who are going to be watching. And for those of you who are watching not live, feel free to comment and share and send us questions. If you have questions that we did not address and they can be answered pretty briefly, let us know. We can't wait. Pam, you are such a pleasure to be with.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Ditto, Teresa.
Thank you. All right, there you have it. We'll see you again next week. Take care and God bless.